hungry, thirsty, without even a single penny. Your stepmom took it before she kicked you out from her car and abandoned you. You are walking in nowhere since last night, don't know where to go. You are tired and sleepy, but you don't know where to rest. You gradually weakened from being tired and hungry. You haven't eaten since last night until your eyes landed on a grapes field. It is still has fruits, but it looks like it has been neglected and no one take care of it. Very grassy and the grapes are falling on the ground and decaying. You look around and when you see that there is no one out there, you enter the grapes field and eat grapes until you get full. You know you did wrong, but you're already hungry. I'm sorry if I stole your grapes. When I make money, I will pay you back, you murmured. You're about to leave, but an old lady called you. Grace? You turned pale in fear that she would call the police. I'm sorry, ma'am, if I ate your grapes. What are you talking about? This grapes field is owned by you. You should have told me that you were coming, Miss Grace. You got confused why she called you Grace. You're about to tell her that you're not Grace, but the old woman pulled you going somewhere. She took you to a vacation house. Good thing you came while I'm still here. By the way, Miss Grace, I'll be gone for a week. I need to take care of my sister. She is sick. Are you sure you can stay here alone? Your confusion answered after seeing the picture inside the house. There is a picture of a girl who looks like you. You are definitely sure she is Grace, that the old woman talking about. In your desperation to have a shelter for a time being, you answered the old woman that yes, there's no problem with you being alone in that house. So to make this story short, you pretend as Grace after the old woman mistook you as her because you look like her. Before the old woman left, you asked her if you can eat grapes. As she told you, you can eat as much as you want. She also told you that no one takes care of that grapes field anymore. Even she wants to sell it, but she can't move like before. As you found out, that old woman is a caretaker at Grace family's farm. Your plan is to stay there at least for a few days while you don't know where you are going yet. To pay for your stay there, you clean the entire house and farm. While cleaning the farm, your attention goes to the grapes. What a waste! Then an idea came to your mind. Since you need money and the old woman also need it, why didn't you sell them? So you harvest the grapes, put on a table on the road, and sold them to passing vehicles. This is what you did every day until you save some money. You take a little of the money so you have on your pocket because you decided to leave that farm. The rest of the money you left on the table. You also left a letter for a woman and for Grace. You apologize to her for pretending to be her. You are ready to go when the real Grace suddenly arrives with men with her. Who are you? Intruder? Thief? She said angrily. I am sorry. I really have nowhere to go, so I stay here. Your eyes met, and she was surprised because you two are look alike. She gets even more angry when she found out everything you did, and because of that, she decided to call the police. But the guy with her stopped Grace as he pulled her in the room. After a minute, she came back, but this time she calmed down. Do you know I can put you in jail for what you did? Trespassing, using my identity, and etc. But since I understand you because you're in the bad situation, okay, I won't call the police. But in one condition. Condition? Continue to pretend as me in front of my ex-boyfriend. Since you two look alike, your beauty is just plain and simple compared to Grace that looks elegant. Her boyfriend came up with the idea of you should pretend to be Grace in front of her ex-boyfriend. You can't say no because if you do that, they will put you in jail. And since you don't want to go to jail, you just agree. Jungkook and Grace came from a rich family. Their parents arranged them to get married someday, and because of that, they get to know each other and had a short relationship because Grace cheated on Jungkook. And even though she cheated on him, both their families still wants to continue the marriage for business benefits. However, Jungkook is against on the marriage. Grace's parents were so mad at her. They tell her to do everything to win Jungkook's heart again. And since you two are look-alike, you are the one who act and do everything to win Jungkook's heart at any cost on her behalf. If not, you will go to jail. To do that, she made you as her. The way she's wearing clothes, the way she acts, all of that she taught you, as well as Jungkook's personality. You also studied about business. After a couple of months, this is the first day that you're going to be Grace in front of her ex. So the plans are not going to fail. Grace and her boyfriend go to Thailand. You are so nervous entering Jungkook's office with the documents that Grace needs to pass on him. This is your first time to see him in person. The guy you need to convince that you still love him. But how can you do that if you have no feelings for him? Good morning, sir. I mean Ko. He gives you a death glare that penetrates your entire being. In his looks, you can say that he is literally ready to burn you in hell. How many times I told you, a cheater like you doesn't belong in my office? I'm sorry. What? I'm sorry. I regret that I cheated on you. Believe me, I realize that I still love you. Wow, nice acting. I know why you're doing this, to keep our marriage going, because you are afraid that the merging of the company won't go through, right? He snatched the documents from your hand and checked, but before he even finished checking, he threw it in your face. Repeat this. This is a trash. Like you. You didn't expect that this is how you will receive from Grace X. You thought the task you were going to do was just a simple. You just now realize that Grace forced you to pretend as her so that you will be the one who receives Jungkook's anger. The days continues that Jungkook was being harsh with you. You still calm and humble yourself to show him that you're really sorry for what you did, so he can forgive Grace. Grace told you to bring Jungkook a coffee latte every morning because he likes it, which is what you did. Until now, you still do that, even though Jungkook throws the coffee at you every time you brought him that coffee. One day, you knock on Jungkook's office with his favorite coffee in your hand. He didn't answer, so you just walk in. There you saw him half naked and currently wearing his long sleeve. In his anger at your sudden entry, he took the shirt that was next to him and threw it at you, which hit your head. Later on, he saw blood slowly flowing down your face. He forgot that his watch was in the pocket of the shirt that he threw at you. Your head bled from the force of the impact when it hit your head. You just wipe the blood from your face with your hand without any reaction on your face. You pick up the shirt on the floor and give it to him. You place the coffee on his desk and leave his office without saying a single word. Jungkook was stunned by your action. He slowly realized that you are not the Grace he knows. You are different from Grace, who is socialistic, artistic, doesn't accept any mistakes. You just let him do what he wants. You let him insulting and hurting you. Everything you're doing is out of Grace's characteristic. Still, Jungkook ignored that because he knows Grace doing that so the marriage go through. 4 days later, you're walking in the lobby of the office to plan to go to the convenience store nearby to have lunch when a girl named Sandra cling on your arms. Grace, I will have lunch with someone. You want to come? Sandra is Jungkook's childhood friend, but she has a secret feelings for Jungkook. She also hates Grace because Jungkook chose Grace over her. You say no, but Sandra forces you to come with her. Since the restaurant is just walking distance only, you two just walk going there. While going to the table reserved by Sandra, you saw a familiar face already there. Grace, sit down, Sandra said and sat next to Jungkook. Why is she here? What's wrong? She's my friend, she said and acted sweet to Jungkook purposely to make you jealous. But you don't care since you don't have any feelings for Jungkook. You were eating when you noticed that Jungkook was looking at your head. You fix your hair quickly so that the bump and brows are not visible. Jungkook continued to stare at your face until she noticed something, that your face is different now since you're just wearing a thin makeup. But he didn't pay attention to it. For him, perhaps, it's just new for him since Grace used to wear a thick makeup. Just only now he saw her up close wearing thin makeup. After lunch, you walk back to the office. You three are working in the same company. Grace is the president, Jungkook is the CEO, and Sandra is the planning team leader. You're behind them, walking quietly while looking down. And because of that, you didn't notice that a motorcycle was coming and almost hit Sandra. Good thing Jungkook pulled her, but he accidentally pushed you and your elbow hit in the sharp object as he hears you groan in pain. When you saw him about to check you, you quickly covered your wound and just continued to walk. At that time, Jungkook wanted to follow you. He was really worried. He knew you were hurt. He clearly saw your elbow bleeding. His heart is telling him to follow you, but his mind is stopping him since he hadn't really forgiven Grace. After office hour, he decided to check you in your cabin. Unfortunately, you weren't there anymore. Then one of the employees told him that you just left, so he hurriedly followed you until he reached the lobby, and there he saw you coming out of the office building. The first thing he noticed was the handkerchief tied around your elbow. Until something made him confused and bothering him. Instead of going to the parking lot, you walk to the bus stop and ride, which Grace doesn't do. He was really confused, so he followed you. He was even more surprised when you entered a simple apartment. Meanwhile, you just burst in tears the moment you get inside the apartment that Grace rented for you. As time goes on, you struggle and want to give up. But what are you going to do? You don't want to go to jail. Your doorbell rang. You stand and wipe your tears, but there are still tears in your eyes. Who's that? You said while opening the door, as you got surprised because Jungkook is standing outside your door, is staring at you. But this time his face was relaxed and not angry. He also noticed tears in your eyes. Sir, I mean, Ko, what are you doing here? Can I come in? Sure, you said and invited him inside. He started looking around. Why do you live here? He asked since he knows you have a mansion in the exclusive village. Nothing. I just want to live in a simple life. That word of yours changed Jungkook's mind. That maybe you really regret for cheating on him. Do you have first aid? Wait, I'll get it. You took it from the bag and gave it to him. You thought he would use it on himself. So you were surprised when he held your wrist and pulled you to the sink. He slowly removed the handkerchief that was wrapped around your elbow and gently washed your wound. After that, he pulled you on the sofa and treated your wound. You just watched him silently while treating your wound. At that time, you feel unexplainable feelings. Sorry if I became harsh and cruel to you. I really can't accept that you cheated on me. But believe me, I regret that I hurt you. I'm sorry. Can we have a new start? You just look at him and nod. After he left, you called Grace and told her the good news. You were excited that you finally finished your deal. However, she told you that you need to continue to act as her because you can't go home yet. You told her that you can't fool Jungkook anymore, but again, she scared you. In fear of going to jail, you have no choice but to continue to pretend as her. After that day, his attitude towards you changed. He became caring and sweet. You were always bonding and going out, watching movies together. While that was happening, you couldn't stop yourself from loving him. 3 months later, Jungkook suddenly popped up in your office with a bouquet of flowers. What is that? He came closer and hugged you. Advance peace offering? He said. For what? I promise you this weekend we'll go out of town, right? I'm sorry, I need to cancel that. I have a sudden business trip this weekend. It's okay, there are more weekends to come. I'm going to miss you. Me too. When are you leaving? Tomorrow morning. Wait, you want to come with me? You're about to say yes, but how about your passport? Grace is still in Thailand. No, maybe next time. Okay. After dinner with him at a restaurant, he drove you to your apartment. Thank you for the ride. I called you when I arrive at the airport tomorrow, okay? Mm, take care while I'm gone. I will. Bye. You get inside the house and were about to close the door, but Jungkook stopped you for doing that. Sir, you need anything? I want to spend the night here with you. As he kissed you, that made you shock. But later on, you kissed him back. That night, something happened to both of you. You just woke up hugging him. Morning, he greeted you. After realizing that you were not wearing anything, you took the blanket and wrapped it around your naked body. Oh, good morning, as you heard him giggling. I need to go. I still have to prepare for my flight. Sure. Why are you still nervous? No, I'm not. He laughed and kissed you. When I come back from business trip, I will announce our marriage, okay? Yeah. I also have something to tell you when you come back. Okay, cool. See you in 3 days. He hugs you and kisses you again. After 3 days, Jungkook exits the airport excitedly. He looked around and finally saw you. But he was surprised because you are wearing a thick makeup again. Meanwhile, the bus where you are will leave in 5 minutes, going to the province. Grace came back yesterday. She told you that your deal with her is over. You don't need to pretend as her anymore. Since you did your job well, she gave you a small lot in the province and small amount enough for you to start a business there. She and his boyfriend broke up, so she just decided to come back to Jungkook and marry him. You cry silently on the bus. Honestly, you don't want to leave him. But what are you going to do? He doesn't know that you're existing. He doesn't even know your name. You just blame yourself for letting to fall for him even though you know it's forbidden. And our bonus. Just comment down below.